Cardano is doing it every single day, and it's not doing your grandma or your grandpa. It's doing the hard work, the good stuff, and not to disrespect your grandparents, but it's doing day in and day out the work that needs to be done to build something lasting and sustainable, which is a blockchain that benefits people's lives. Because truthfully, I'm gonna not be here one day, other people aren't going to be here one day, and Cardano hopefully is still here. That's the idea, something that goes beyond our lifetimes and has an impact on the generations to come. Now, first things first, before we get into the video and all the great things Cardano is doing, if you want to earn passive ADA on your ADA, you can do so with the Jack stake pool. Now, we've seen some recent headlines, and I've kind of just looked up Cardano news, and this came up about Cardano drifting off too far, and traders are turning their backs on Cardano after the FTX collapse. This, to me, I have no idea if it means anything. There's just a bunch of lines and triangles on a chart. I don't know what it means. What I do know, though, is instead of hoping for a Christmas rally of price or Cardano not to go down back to 20 cents, I'm focusing on the things that matter, and that is survival. And that is building in this survival stage, which is a bear market for Cardano. This is an article from November 2nd, just kind of paraphrasing Charles Hoskinson, the founder of IOHK, one of the 3 founding partners of Cardano, and talking about how many blockchains and DeFi protocols aren't going to make it, and they have to be able to endure this very adversarial load. So a lot of things right now are happening. We have FTX crashing. Earlier this year, we had Luna and a million other things to bring crypto down. But the things that survive these types of crashes for the whole industry are the things that are likely going to survive a lot longer and actually build things that are useful for people, rather than just built upon to steal people's money or take retail as funds and put it in their own pockets. Okay, now we're gonna have some fun, and we're gonna go over some of the things building here on Cardano. I know, a little bit of a reminder, a little bit of hopium, but there's a lot going on. Recently announced was Midnight, designed for developers, built for humanity. This is a protection or data protection based blockchain, a side chain for Cardano that safeguards sensitive commercial and personal data, protecting fundamental freedoms of association, commerce, and expression for developers, companies, and individuals. So this is pretty much the gateway for mainstream people to come into Cardano. An amazing thing. I will do more videos on Midnight as more information is released. But if you want to look it up, I'll leave a link down in the description so you can sign up for the newsletter and learn more, or just subscribe to this channel and I'll make a whole video on it when there is a lot more to dive into. But right now, it's pretty awesome. Just announced in the past week, and it's something building on Cardano. Alongside that, we have things that many people may have forgotten if my scroll wheel worked, which is Hydra. And Hydra is not scaling for Cardano's layer 1. Let's get that out of the way. This doesn't mean that Cardano's layer 1 is going to be a million TPS. This is a side chain that enables Cardano's privacy and decentralization, inherits that, and brings it over. It's not on the layer 1 of Cardano, but a side chain that can make people have instantaneous type transactions and be a better settlement layer for more process or streamlined applications that want to implement something that doesn't take a little, like Cardano's right now, time to process a transaction, but really just take it to the next level while still inheriting the benefits of Cardano's layer 1 privacy and security. Sorry, not privacy, security and decentralization. And also scalability is going to happen mostly on the side chains, but there is solutions for Cardano's mainnets, and also things like lightweight clients, Mithril, the ability to have a full node in or full node security in a light wallet is coming. This is being worked on too, and lots of other things, but I just want to highlight things that haven't been talked about recently. I know the announcements, recent ones about stablecoins and Midnight are more prevalent, but there's still a ton of other things, and I'm not going to even cover all of them in today's video because it's near impossible, that are going on in the back end of Cardano, which will deploy Cardano a lot further, especially in the next bull market when prices are relevant again and things come back up and all the hype comes into the media and all that. But essentially, Mithril is the first application, or the first application of Mithril is going to allow for faster bootstrapping of Cardano nodes. Right now, most people, if they want a full node wallet security, they have to use Daedalus. That takes so long to load, like sometimes years, but it's not the most convenient. But if you want that in a light client, that's where Mithril comes in hand. Each node has a full copy of the blockchain, it needs to verify each block from its history. It takes a significant amount of time, sometimes literal days, if you haven't synced in a while, to start a new node from scratch. And with Mithril, it is possible to start a node from the predefined state with the same security guarantees that the chain itself provides, but a lot faster. So this is good. This is being developed constantly. There's paper on it. If you want to read more, I'll leave this link down in the description too. And in general, Cardano is still expanding. I'm going to go over this time and time again because I think it's important. But here is just a little glimpse at what's building on Cardano. We have a million dexes. It seems like some big dexes with a lot of promises coming to this space for mainnet launch, hopefully soon. We don't know confirmed dates, but the word is soon for things like Axo and Genius Yield. And then if you scroll down, you're going to see we have so many options for things like wallets, because in Cardano space, a lot of things are building and a lot of people are creating competition. Lace Wallet by IOG, or IOHK rather, is going to be deployed soon, hopefully, and it has been teased quite a bit. In terms of DeFi, I can't keep track of all this. I don't think anyone can, but there's a ton of things that have recently deployed or about to deploy Indigo, and very anticipated dApps like Liquid Finance with lending and borrowing rates, and 10x yields coming to Cardano, and all of this happening at the same time with multiple side chains being built out other than Hydra for scalability and integration with EVMs, Ethereum virtual machines. And I'm running out of breath here, but there's a ton of things on Cardano that don't go along with this headline. Drifting too far off. Traders are leaving, but the people who are building and want to see real world change are here during these times. They don't care if the price goes down to 20 cents or whatever. Interesting enough, when we look at things like Massari, and yes, Cardano's down to 30 cents right now. I haven't checked that in a few days, so it's a bit surprising to me even. But when we go to Massari, you're going to see transaction per second count, 1. Things like this aren't accurate, and honestly, I don't think this transaction volume is either. But people are going to go after things like this rather than things like, Cardano and all of their dApps building, or Cardano and 3,690 commits this week on GitHub. It is insane how much commits are on GitHub, especially this month or this last week. Comparing this to about 3 weeks ago, we have a third of the GitHub commits, but still the number one in development activity across different blockchains. And overall, things are seemingly not being talked about in the mainstream media about crypto, because right now it's just blended with all of the horrors from FTX to Luna and all the other crashes and the things that have took money rather than build something useful. You can see here on Massari, Cardano has 3 billion transaction volume in the past 24 hours. Now, this is more than Ethereum reportedly, but ETXOs complicate things. They do, and they do stretch numbers. So just putting that out there, it's hard to gauge Cardano's real volume. And a lot of these reporting sites aren't going to do it justice, and they're probably also not going to put them on the yearly report again, like they did last year when they mentioned Solana and Terra 10 times more than Cardano. But I'm not here to bash on publications. I'm here to tell you about Cardano, what they're building, and a lot of things have been going good. We have JPEG Store continuing to do great volumes and bring in new users from other NFT ecosystems, especially right now with Solana being down in some of the dumps with the FTX scandal and everything going on over there, because FTX held a lot of Solana. Other dApps, JPEG Store included, are doing well. I mean, you can see the 5 days, it's not necessarily up or trending, but there's still a lot of people coming to these dApps, as you can see by the unique accounts, 120,000, 50,000, and a lot of volume overall has been processed in ADA over this course of a bear market, because pretty much all of these dApps going live, majority of their time has been during a bear market, not really the most prime. When Cardano was hitting its all-time highs, that was when smart contracts were just released over a year and a bit ago. And now that we have all this stuff, when the next bull run comes around, we'll be much more positioned for a better price return probably, especially now that people can come and use things on Cardano, rather than before, it was mostly just come stake your Cardano and sit there and wait. Now, you might not be able to read these numbers here, but Cardano is doing it still in every day. It is building. People are coming to Cardano, more delegated wallets, more ADA staked, or for the most part, over 71% still of all ADA is being staked back into the ecosystem. There was a time when it was hard stuck below 70%, So it is good to see there's still lots of people staking, new wallets created every day, thousands of them. And overall, there is nearly 4 million ADA wallets inside of Cardano's ecosystem. Lastly, I want to mention something I missed in one of my other videos about Cardano news, and that is Liquid Labs with their announcement of their testnet. I mentioned in today's video, they're building something pretty awesome, but their testnet launch for the first algorithmic ADA lend borrow markets are live. If you want to go check them out, I will leave this link down in the description. And that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. As you can see, with everything I've covered, Cardano is continuing every single day to build. The apps are still going, users are still here, and more people are going to come as things become more and more useful, and there's more and more use cases applicable to the everyday Joe. Anyways, a lot is being built. It's good to see. I wanted to share it with you, set a reminder, give you some hopium, maybe some copium, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. It's been your friend Jack. Peace out.